Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on your way in. Okay. Oh boy. I know I put link in the description late, so I know many of you may not have seen that link in the description. Oh, okay. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Tanya TKO is talking again, thinking she's saying something new and revelatory, and she thought she ate. Okay. So Tanya TKO is doing the whole, you know, and I've said it. I've said it. If y'all so hard up on being with these baller dudes, then um get comfortable eating vagina or being the side chick number 17 to the baller dudes. And so it looks like Miss Tanya TKO is taking me up on that offer, and she's speaking about all of the polygamous societies from the old, and she brings up a clip of Scott Galloway speaking about men maturing slower than women, and speaking about and you know how Scott Galloway and Richard Reeves are being very diplomatic about how they're going about this, and the women are taking them at face value, which is good because that's the goal for them, right? But then you have the women like Miss Tanya TKO who don't actually realize what they're doing, so they're taking them way too seriously, right? And so where's Mr. Z going with this? Okay. Um Tanya TKO uses some Egyptian woman she met when she was in Egypt, some ballerific Egyptian woman who's married to some ballerific Egyptian dude, and he's like her favorite wife, and when they get mad at each other, he sends her away, and she gets to travel and spend money and ball out. And I'm like, but that's not a thing. Most women in America and in the West don't have no money like that. They can't afford for this weird polygamous thing that you're talking about. Not to mention, let's go over some numbers again, right? Because Miss Tanya TKO don't know the numbers, nor does she care to know. But let's go over it. There are 56 million millionaires on the planet. Once again, 56 million millionaires on the planet. Let's say they way underestimated it. Let's double it and say there's 112 million millionaires on the planet. That's out of 8 billion people. Now you have to know the vast majority of those millionaires are millionaires through their property, through their homes. That's the number one way they're millionaires. Not through investments, not through business, not through any of that, through their homes. And that's both in and out of America, right? Through the land and the property they own. Okay, cool. All right, let's look at billionaires. 2,800 billionaires on the planet. Let's double it. Let's say it's 6,000. 6,000 billionaires, once again, out of 8 billion people on planet Earth, right? Now, y'all tell me who on the planet can afford for 100 and some odd wives like Miss Tanya TKO was using as an example. All right, let's cut it in half. Outside of Jeff Bezos and the other billionaires, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, shout out to all you women that can look Mark Zuckerberg ugly dome in the face and, give him head. How many people, how many men can afford, 50 wives, let alone 100? How many of them can afford 20 wives? The problem we have here is that people like me and others, some of the elders, have been calling train tracks, have been calling these women's bluff, right? We've been saying they're not looking at the data. We've been saying they're ignorant to a lot of the trends. We've been saying they're so hyper focused on saying black men ain't ish. They're not looking around the world and seeing what's going on. So they're slowly peeking their heads out and looking at some of the data and researching, and they're still coming to the wrong conclusions. Because what Miss Tanya TKO is saying with her elitist Caribbean ass is, if I can't have a baller, then I would rather be friends with my homegirls and travel with what money? You may have money, Miss Tanya TKO, from all your social media endeavors and maybe, outside some business you got. Other women don't. And even the example that you try to use of all these polygamous societies from the past, what you're missing is the reason why many of those didn't work. And she said, you know, it was men that needed monogamy. Cool. You want to know why much of that didn't work? Because the men that weren't getting any stopped doing stuff. Oops. Yeah, that part. The men that weren't getting any, the men that couldn't have wives, the men that couldn't have sex, the men that couldn't have girlfriends. Well, it wasn't girlfriends back then. The men that weren't even given the opportunity to court, they stopped doing things. Have fun seeing women in majority and a handful of men hold the sky up by themselves. Have fun with that. Once again, using Scott Galloway to badger men, right? Scott Galloway said we got to rejigger this whole thing. See, there's a lot that Scott Galloway has said that you refuse to listen to. He also speaks about how this thing is going to screw women. Yeah, that part, right? You ain't talk about that part now, did you? He also spoke about women's frustration for not having a man because they hyper focus on the top 10 and 20%. That part. See, you cherry picked which part of Scott Galloway you wanted to focus on. Did you talk about the Bill Maher interview? No. Did you talk about some of the other interviews he's had? The recent CNN interview? No. With what's his name? Smakonage? So even when y'all go and listen to the same things we listening to or the same people we're listening to, you still extrapolate something from that that's horrible for the masses of women. Forget the men for a second. I know that's what you're good at, right? And this idea, let me because Tanya TKO is doing the whole Earth Mother Goddess Black Woman Divine thing, right? But in a backwards way. Okay, right? The whole, you know, women, why are men leading, right? So this is that radical feminism talk that Richard Reeves thinks is not that prevalent. I would like to direct him to the Black community, particularly the Hotep part of the Black community, with that Earth Mother Goddess, morally superior, I am the best thing to ever happen to planet Earth talk. I would like to direct you to the Black community, right? So first, women are suffering too. Number one. That whole, well, they're the ones who really want monogamy. Yawn. The men are they're the ones who really want monogamy. Have fun trying to tell women. See, women will have sex with this dude. Yeah. Have fun trying to tell women that they're going to be wife number 18 to some rich dude. And oh yeah, I forgot. From what Miss Tanya TKO is saying, you know, he might not even call on you. You think about. First of all, you're dealing with mainly white dudes and Asian dudes at this point. So that'd be white guys and Chinese guys for the most part. Have fun with what he's gonna do to you and what type of things he wants you to do to him. You really haven't thought this through all the way, have you? Now let me make a bit of an ad hominem attack. You know, as a man of Caribbean descent, Black man of Caribbean descent, many of us have grown up with and around Caribbean women. Those of us who grew up with Caribbean women, particularly English-speaking Caribbean women, we know, and I'm gonna use Jamaicans as an example, the women that they never wrong. You know the women that's never wrong. For those of you ADOS brothers, y'all really haven't seen nothing yet until y'all run across Trini, Guyanese, Jamaican, women from the USVI, that's US Virgin Islands. Y'all ain't meet nothing yet until y'all met Caribbean women that are never wrong. They're never wrong, and they keep talking. Or they will talk you into self-deletion. They just keep going over and over and over and over and over and over again. You want to see what I'm talking about? Go listen to Tanya TKO. They have this air of superiority to them. They think they're smarter than they actually are. They speak like they're official even when they're not. Oh, y'all think, Mr. I'm part of the Caribbean community. I'm telling y'all. Jesus Christ. Tanya TKO is one of them. Themis is one of them. Goddamn. Yeah, right. At least Themis got the degree to back him up. Whether Tanya TKO does or not, she's definitely one of those Caribbean women that think they're never wrong. They got a shape to them, right? Their faces, they got a shape to them, so men want to pipe, and then those men instantly regret it, and they want to be on. Then you gotta go get them out of self-delete watch because they messing with a chick like this. Tanya TKO is some of the men, the now men that I grew up with, their mothers. You know what those kids, those grown men and women that do when they finally don't need their mom, they get so far away from her, it's like it's ridiculous. You think they're running from their mom. They are. They are. They've been married 2-3 times. We know who Tanya, and this might not be the story for Tanya TKO specifically, but we know who Tanya TKO is. All of us black people that grew up with anybody Caribbean, that was your homeboy's mom. We know who Tanya TKO is. Like I said, been married 2-3 times. Think just because dudes want to pipe her because she got a shape means something. On some Earth Mother, Divine Goddess, I'm never wrong. Keep talking and 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 talking. And they're never wrong. Oh, bruh, shout out to the ADOS FBA community. If y'all think ADOS FBA women are never wrong, you ain't seen nothing yet. And they always try to give you some old country wisdom coming from the islands that usually do not apply. I would love to see Tanya TKO speak to Scott Galloway based off of all the stuff she done said crazy on her channel, and let's see how well that go. Now the Tanya TKOs of the world are really trying to call the Mr. Z's bluff of the world, the Mr. Z's of the world bluff, and say, yeah, yeah, polygamy would be better. You didn't realize I was saying that ironically? Because I know most black women and women in general in the West will never sign up for that. Yeah, they talk a good game. They're not really about it. And you know that too, Miss Tanya TKO. And I'm not saying Tanya TKO listens to me or subscribe to me or anything like that. What I'm saying is she tried to call people like me bluff when we say, well, if you don't like what we got, then go eat some vagina or go lobby the US government to make this thing polygamous. Right? And Big Kev says female supremacy literally comes from slavery. Right? And thanks for the super chat, Big Kev. I'm telling you, like, this is, it was actually kind of sad first to watch her kind of nitpick a particular interview that Scott Galloway has done, forgetting him talking about, and this is important, and I've said this before, I need to say it again. What Scott Galloway, Richard Reeves, and the like are saying all across the board, we need to do for the boys and the men, or it's going to hurt society. Let me say that again for Tanya TKO. Maybe she didn't get the wax out of her ears. I'm speaking like how they speak right now. They're saying we need to do like what we did for the women. See, Miss TKO, if you think that women, including black women, are where they are without government largesse, you don't know anything. You don't know anything about history. You don't know anything about politics, and you don't know anything about economics. Women didn't just get to where they are currently off of hard work. That's not how any of this works. Government policy, NGOs, that's non-governmental organizations, non-governmental organizations, right? That's policy, that's all of that. And what Scott Galloway is saying, maybe you missed it, is we need to do the same thing for the boys and the men, not only to help the boys and the men, but to help the women and the girls too, to help society also, to help the U.S. economy and the U.S. tax base. Yeah, that part. But you're too busy talking about women being married to uber rich wealthy dudes and living it up and going on girls trips like the women that make $30,000 a year can afford what you're talking about. Right? Like a lot of this, and I want to say this, I got to say this for any woman listening. A lot of this is some class talk. I want to stress this to all the women listening. Paris, Chrissy, Tanya TKO, Yanni, they're your class enemies, your economic class enemies. The only thing y'all really share is maybe some skin tone and a vagina. They're waging a class warfare against working class men that they think are beneath them. You, as a working class woman, and I'm pretty sure you're a working class woman, you can't afford the way they think. But go ahead and keep on listening to them. Let me know how it work out for you in 20, 30 years. See, Paris and Kim Foster and Yanni and Chrissy and Tanya TKO and you name them, that's making some real money now off of YouTube. They making 100 something, 200, 300 something. They can afford to talk how they talk. All of you 60, 50, 40, 30, $25,000 a year women, you can't afford it. You can't. But they can, and they can get you riled up on some black men ain't ish stuff. And why are men leading anyway? Yeah, Tanya was talking that type of talk. Like I told you, that feminine divine, why are men leading? They can't lead themselves talk. Why are they leading us talk? I don't really often subscribe to the penis envy conversation when it comes to the black manosphere. But yeah, Tanya definitely on some penis envy talk. Or she definitely on that. So once again, we have another probably bitter, broken woman that's projecting her bitter brokenness on men. See, look, we don't need it. We're not the ones who wanted monogamy. Try taking monogamy away from women now. Try it. Go ahead, Tanya. Try it. Let me know how it works. Tell them, hey, well, we could share our own company, enjoy our own company. Women don't like being around women like that. Definitely black women. Black women don't like being around other black women like that, like that. They need a break from other black women. Per what Mr. Z has heard his entire life from black women, regardless of the background. That 2-3 hours they spend in the hair salon, 4 hours they spend, that's about as much as they could take. Y'all get y'all men ain't ish little vibes out and talk crap and gossip and talk about the latest celebrity news, and they be ready to go. Number one. So once again, that going on girls trip, enjoying each other's company and day spas and all that other crap Tanya was talking about sounds like a whole lot of vagina eating to me. And then the you could we the polygamy, why we have all these patriarchal societies and we don't have polygamy. Right? Saying that unironically, like you think, let me get this right. You think working class men are going to work and then watch elite men get all the vagina off the table and then not burn this to the ground? You got another thing. This lady ain't thinking. She's not thinking. Wait, you think working class men are going to have their taxes taken out, are going to watch as women get their college paid for, health services, all type of maternity leave for the elite men that's getting them pregnant, and their tax dollars are contributing to that? all type of Medicaid and Medicare, and you think working class men are gonna watch all of that happen and be like, well, I lost the game. The uber rich dude has 1,000 wives, and I'm over here struggling to even try to get one girl to look at me a certain way, and you think they're not gonna torch the whole entire Western world to the ground? Are you crazy? Like, this lady is older than me, y'all. There's no. How did you? Like I said in the title, the math ain't mathin'. There's no way you thought about this and then said it. There's no way. Even if you're biased as hell, there's no way you thought about this and then still said what you said. This is it's frightening, right? And then sit it with all the bravado in the world. You know, that Caribbean swag, that I know best, I'm the smartest person in the world swag, right? All that ego, and you dead ass wrong. You ain't do the math. You didn't do the math. You didn't. And so, I'm saying, I'm gonna keep on saying this. Y'all know this is my project. All you working class, everyday women, y'all gotta keep on letting the Tanyas, the Paris, the Real Talk with Yannies, the Chrissies, the Kim from Fort Harriet. Kim from Fort Harriet and Tanya TKO pretty much on the same thing. Y'all gotta keep on letting them lead y'all to the edge of the cliff. They telling you okay with being lonely. Meanwhile, we have you can't even count how many videos coming from younger women, middle-aged women, older women crying in their car, complaining in their car, complaining in their kitchen, complaining in their room about men, either men not on their level, no men, men not approaching them. Look how good they look. Going to clubs, men not approaching them, and Tanya TKO is telling you what to end up with the baller dude or just enjoy other women's company. Kim Foster telling you, let's bring back, we don't need these Negroes feminism, and Negroes is not the word she used. These people are your class enemy, working class women. All of you that make some 60, 70 grand a year or less. I'm bumping it up by saying 70. You making 60, and let's be honest, most black women, y'all around that maybe 35, 40 grand mark somewhere, maybe, possibly, not really, right? And you taking advice from Tanya TKO? Hey, I keep on reminding y'all. Y'all remember their faces and their names in 20, 30 years when you're single, miserable. I need to stress that. Not if you single and happy, right? You just got divorced and y'all throwing that divorce party. No. For all of you that's going to be single and miserable, y'all remember who y'all used to listen to 20, 30 years ago. Remember who you thought had it all right 20, 30 years ago. Remember who you used to listen to because you was mad at your ex-boyfriend or your ex-husband or your baby daddy. Remember who kept on telling you, yeah, you don't need those Negroes. It'd be better if you were wife number, I don't know, 37 to the baller guy. And thank you for the super sticker, Oliver the Gray, right? And Detroit says there's this pro-black dude. There's this pro-black dude is generalizing black men are the face of mass shootings in America by 60%. I'm gonna get to that. We'll send me a link and we'll see. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I had to talk about Tanya TKO. So apparently they're following behind us. And when we start speaking about one of these people, they start speaking about one of these people. They cherry pick different interviews or different parts of an interview to paint their point. And what is your point exactly? women should be leading this, black women should be leading the entire world. What is your point exactly? Don't look for men for leadership. Isn't this the same? Like you and Sokus Ray and Kim Foster are on the same thing. It's funny, y'all coming at it from different angles, but y'all all on the same thing. Meanwhile, your subscribers, many of them are very unhappy, very lonely, and trying to keep a stiff upper lip until they can't take it no more. Which you already know, Tanya TKO, you're not dumb. That's why it's about projecting, right? We don't want it's not us that want monogamy. They needed monogamy. The men needed monogamy. No, the entire society needed monogamy. Turn this into a polygamous society today and see how long it lasts. First of all, how are you going to incentivize the working class men? Yikes. Hey, by the way, we're going to take all the vagina off the table, and those women are going to be 1,000+ deep on uber rich and wealthy men. But all you working class men, we still need y'all to go do all the menial jobs, all the middle management jobs, right? We still need y'all. But have fun. I guess you're gonna be paying for prostitutes at I don't know, 10 grand a pop every time, right? Because all the other women will be with the Uber baller guys. You didn't. There's no way you did the math. You didn't sit down. How is this gonna? Are we going to incentivize men? And then how do we expect these men not to burn the entire world to the ground? And Trell said, Z, you would need therapy listening to these people. I'm really not. I done heard a whole lot of crazy stuff in my life. I done heard from a whole lot of people. That's why I know. I told you, I know who the Tanya TKOs of the world are. I know who they are. Like I said, Browning, kind of brown, kind of light skinned Caribbean women with all the sass, and you know how men are. We see all them curves, and then we wanna smash on some conquering her body type thing. Then you feel like you want to be on self-delete. Watch when you realize you was piping this. She's annoying. She's arrogant. She got all the sass in the world, and she won't stop talking with all the bravado in the world. It's like a feminine version of the men that other people despise, including other men. The men that's never wrong, and they keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and they never wrong, and they never apologize because they're never wrong. You extrapolate all of that from Tanya TKO one video? No, I've watched a bunch of her videos. Like I said, these are the ones, once their kids get grown and no longer need them, and it might be, let's say your kids still kind of need you financially up until the age of 25, 26. The second they kids get their feet up under them, skirt. Right? So like I said, she picked out the Scott Galloway interview, one Scott Galloway interview, took it out of context, didn't do the social math to figure out, okay, women lead this, fine. Okay, let's say women lead this. All right. Black women in particular lead America. Let's say the president, the vice president, all of Congress is all white. I mean, excuse me, all black women. It's pretty much all white now. It's all black women. All. Right? All the senators, all the House reps, they're all black women. The president is a black woman. Chief of staff, black women. Military, black women. All the leadership in America is women, particularly black women. How do you incentivize the men, the working class men? We're not talking about the Uber ballers that all of y'all are married to. How do you incentivize the men? Oh wait. You think you're not gonna need them? Isn't that what America's complaining about now? The technology hasn't caught up yet, Miss Tanya TKO. You still a couple of decades too early for what you're talking about. At the earliest, you still a couple of decades too early. Right? So, I people like this, the way they speak, the arrogance, there's a word I'm it's not coming to me. This is to perfectly describe the Tanya TKOs of the world, right? And the way they speak with such authority, right? And like I said, I would love to see her sit down with Scott Galloway for real, and then tell her all the things she says on her channel. Not switch it up for him. No, right? And it's important that I bring this up because I did watch. I'm about 75% done watching the interview, and I'm probably gonna do a video about it. The interview, the conversation between and it was really a conversation between Rollo Tomasi and Richard Reeves. So I've been listening to that, and the part that Rollo Tomasi and the guy that he was sitting next to, I forgot his name, um the part that they were trying to get Richard Reeves to understand is that women are not going to adjust their standards, bro. Now, Richard Reeves did make a good point about um what did he call it? It was your, and I've heard it before and I'm trying to remember, um your preference and your actual preference, right? Your preference. No, not audacious, Toya. Good word though. Good word for this, but nah. It's worse than audacious, but like more negative connotation, right? Way more negatives. Audacious could be a positive or a negative. I need it to be like a pejorative, right? But yeah, so um your your preference and then your actual preference, right? And when Richard Reeves was going, this is the one part that like Rollo Tomasi and the other guests were really trying to drill down to Richard Reeves. Like the women that they interview are real. They're really not. They're really not. And I would direct Richard Reeves to women like Tanya TKO, women like Kim Foster, right? And on a one-to-one basis, that's not a real big issue. Women having standards, even insane standards, right? Or particular women. But when you start dealing with it on a societal level, you get, right? Unmitigated gall is really a good one, right? Dastardly is another one. Let's highlight these, right? Foolhardy is another one. Craven is a really good one. Pretty much all of that. All of that. What the test look like when you take a test? All of the above, right? All of the above, because it really is. And like, if y'all could stomach it, the link is in the description for the video with her that I'm speaking about. If y'all could stomach it, don't worry, she already got y'all view is not gonna, don't worry about the money thing. She already got her money, right? But like I was saying, this on an individual basis is not a problem as much as it is on a societal level. And I think the real glaring blind spot that Richard Reeves and the like miss, it's not just that women are out educating men. And even Richard Reeve's example is, I think he uses an example of a nurse that he knows. I think it might be even a nurse in his family, and then her husband is a plumber, but a really successful plumber. And would she not marry him or be with him, just because he doesn't have a college degree? And I'm like, yeah, but you're talking about a super like successful plumber, like probably a six-figure plumber. That is not what's going on. Of course, he can make up for and mitigate for not having a formal education with the money, right? And maybe not having the status with having the money. We're talking about regular women and regular men, but regular women that have a degree that's earning some 45, 50, 55 grand, and they think they're better than their male counterparts that's earning 45, 50, 55 grand. That's what we're speaking about. And that number is way larger than what you think it is, Mr. Reeves. You want to know how I know? Because I'm black in America and I'm watching it happening in my community, right? Gumption is another one. Good one, Toya. Temerity. Let me throw my word in there. Temerity is another one, right? Although temerity might be more positive, it's more neutral, right? Temerity don't have that negative connotation like that. So yeah, so and I'm tying that to Tanya TKO by saying like this is what's frightening about this type of conversation. Because even when the professionals do their very best to be very direct in what they're saying, right? Like Scott Galloway, you still have Tanya TKO extrapolating from that what she wants to make a point that she wanted to make anyway, that she's been making, right? And Trell says, hell, they think they're better than men who make 75K, right? And I think that's something that's sorely lacking in this conversation. I think in this respect, we hyper focus on the men being insecure about their financial position or being insecure about their education level or being and never really considering the women that are like Tanya TKO. I'll just enjoy the company of other women, and I'll go traveling, and I'll go shopping, and I'll go day partying, and if not, then I'll just be the wife number 100 for the rich baller dude, and it's like not a thing, right? And they're selling their subscribers on this because really what they're waging is a class warfare. The only thing them and their regular ass 50,000, 40,000, $30,000 a year subscribers have in common is the fact that they have ovaries. And Oliver the Gray says, and thank you for the super chat. He said, "Oh, scramble playing ass, right?" Now, I'm not the scramble player. Toya's the scramble player. My lady actually would be another one who's really good with words, right? I would hate to have to. That would be a good Toya. If I ever visit Texas, I'm gonna have to put some money between you and my lady because between y'all two and Jeopardy, I want to know who's a better Jeopardy player. I'm gonna, of course, have to back my lady, but I'm pretty sure Toya. No, yeah, Toya and I would love to see that, right? Believe it or not, my lady, she knows more like Jeopardy. Oh yeah, she got that. I'm very specific in the things I know. She has like a wide breadth of like general knowledge about stuff. She be saying, I'm like, what? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a thing, right? Insolence. That's another good word, right? Toya said, words with friends, Wordle. I didn't even know that was a thing. Longo said, temerity. I just used it a little while ago, Longo. Oh, we really doing words right now. I didn't even know this was a word. How do you even pronounce this? Effrontery? Effrontery? Right? I gotta look that up so I can get the phonetics right. But yeah, man, like, you know, we right? Words with friends right here online right now. Right? So it look, man, like I said, the Tanya TKOs, even though I've watched so much Scott Galloway interviews, even the interview that she posted, or the conversation she posted of him, and you know, these people are being very careful on how they speak, and they're saying what they're saying in a particular type of way on purpose. They know what they're saying is controversial. They know what they're saying is going to be fought against tooth and nail by the feminists. So they're being very careful, and they like they throw men under the bus to hopefully help men on the back end. And then you hear, then Tanya TKO sees that and says, "Yeah, you're right." They ignore the game that Scott Galloway's playing and why he's saying what he's saying the way he's saying it. Either they see it and ignore it, or they really don't get it, right? And then they extrapolate from that. Yeah, you're right. We should be the leaders. Yeah, you're right. And we should only be in a relationship with the uber super duper baller dudes, and that's okay if we're wife number 100. And somewhere around the world are women saying, yeah, we ain't signing up for that." Now, are there women that are perfectly okay with being wife number 8 for a baller dude? Yeah, of course there are. More than I think some brothers would like to admit. But most women, even black women, and you wouldn't be wife number 8. You would probably be wife number 37. Right? Absolutely hysterical, Better You. And Better You says, on a side note, man, there was a busted white Ultima weaving through traffic on the way to work. Big Ultima energy. Hey, bro, hey, stay away from them busted Ultimas. Busted Ultimas are Black Air Force One energy in a car, right? Okay, so in Trell says it's pronounced effrontery. Effrontery. Okay, y'all taught me a new word. Put that in my repertoire. Okay, you see what I'm saying, Mr. Shook to you? So Mr. Shook to you says, just watch the link. Some people don't think past their own noses. So this is my thing. We all have agendas. We all have our biases. I'm not against agendas and I'm not against biases as a rule because I think we all have it. Now, if your agenda is a problem, then I have a problem. The thing with the Tanya TKOs of the world is whatever has happened to them in the past, whatever traumas they're dealing with, the way they cope with that is by scorched earth, right? So what does Mr. Z mean by that? I couldn't get the guy I wanted. I couldn't keep the guy I wanted. Guys cheated on me. Guys treated me like whatever the hell ever. So I want to go scorched earth. So I'm going to speak to women about how much better we are than men, how we should be in the leadership position, how these men can't even wipe their own rear end, right? And so what that will cause, hopefully, is more women to think like me, and then I can get at my ex-boyfriend, my baby daddy, my ex-husband, and other men like him, and then men in general, right? Right. And I'm happy you actually mentioned this right here, Trell. Baby mama number 15, future Nick Cannon. Black women are with the ish. Don't be fooled. I'm not gonna fully disagree with you. I kind of disagree with you, but I'm not gonna fully disagree with you. Baby mamas, but not. There's something about their pride and ego that knowing that they're in their wife number 15, that's different than being baby mama number 15. because they're still not obligated to you as being baby mama number 15. They're obligated to you still being baby mama, I mean, being wife number 15, right? They're still obligated to you. That's the only like distinction that I'll make with that. But something you said here, you know, these say, and this speaks to the hypocrisy. If I search through um Tanya TKO's videos and I see if she ever commented on Future or Nick Cannon, y'all think she ain't gonna have something critical to say about them, something negative to say about them and all them baby mamas and all them kids? Huh? You see the hypocrisy there? See, you're trying to call men's bluff with the whole, yeah, maybe we need to bring back polygamy type talk. Meanwhile, the men that are kind of practicing that now, I'm almost certain if I go through the history of your videos, you didn't have positive things to say about them in their situation. Now you could pass that off as, yeah, that's because they're having these children out of wedlock and da da da. But there's no way you don't think that the baller dudes their time wouldn't be spread out also. 10, 15, 20 wives, a few dozen kids. Their time wouldn't be spread out also, and then those wives moving about through the country, living where they want to live, right? There are, and thank you, let me highlight this first, and I'm gonna highlight Better Use comment. And K Tut says she is willfully neglect oh my god, I'm sorry, y'all. She is willfully neglect of the broader social implications of what Scott Galloway was explaining and how that will directly affect the exact demographic she claims to advocate for. I paused for a second because I couldn't say it any better, and I was trying to find a smarty art way of saying I couldn't say it any better, but it couldn't come to me fast enough. But I couldn't say it any better. This is my point. This is my point. This is exactly my point, K Tut. Exactly. Better You got jokes this morning. Better You says, I got that hopium, 1 for 5, 3 for 10. Shout out to all of my people from the South. I gotta do the voice. For those of you that know, DVDs, 1 for 5, 3 for 10, DVDs. You ever go to the flea market? I don't know how it go in the Northeast. I'm pretty sure y'all got the same time, but I know the voice and the pitch is different, right? The way they pitch well, not anymore. I mean, you ain't getting bootleg DVDs like that anymore. But like back in the early aughts, in the late 90s, the early aughts especially, DVDs, CDs. Oh, that was the first thing I thought about when Better You said that. Right, so we selling hopium 3 for the, and it's crazy because it's the way they say it. I got the 1 for the 5, 3 for the 10. It's funny because it's true, right? And like, really, that's what these people are selling. It's positivity porn. It's hopium. Like I often say, toxic positivity, right? Exactly, Oliver the Gray. Got them trees. Oh, maybe it's just a South Florida thing, but man, oh man, no, it can't be just a South Florida thing because I've been other places in the South and heard them sound just like that, right? Grab second gear. I'm telling you, it'll be like CDs, DVDs. I guess for the women, they're saying what we come over here. We have an assortment of black men ain't ish. We have black men are losers. Black men are dusties. Black men are nakers. Oh, and try some of our white men are the best. Try some of our what have black men built. Try some of our. We need to open up our options, right? Try some of our what else the all these sisters be saying? Try some of our you leading me to where, right? Oh, I forgot the Kim Fosters, right? Try some of the. We need to bring back some of these um Negroes ain't ish, or we don't need these Negroes. Feminism, right? Joe Bentley, Joe Bentley said in bundles of hair hats, right? I got my issues with Tommy Sotomayor, but that hair hatted hooligan thing still rings to my mind till this day. Hair hat hooligan still to this day, till this day, right? See what I'm saying? Better you. We have the coldest white ice because if you don't know, the white man's ice is always colder, right? And then we get DC to pop up and say Colt 45, right? For those of you that know the brother DC out of DC, right? But yeah, so and I really want to stick to this point before I get out of here. The class element, right? So at least Kim Foster does a tacit um reminder of her current class position when she speaks. These other people, because of their income, um, occupy a certain class that allows for them to talk this reckless and potentially live out the rest of their lives single, no man, no children, possibly. Right? And that includes Tanya TKO. I'm not sure if she has children or not, but that includes her speaking the way she does, right? Other black women don't have that luxury. And I think we really have to do an assessment of flat black womanness, right? So we speak about flat blackness when we speak about ADOS, FBA, reparations, black immigrants, and the children of black immigrants. We also are doing more, digging and investigating flat blackness when we speak about black men, black women issues, specifically maybe some of the ways their issues and their concerns diverge politically, right? I wonder if it's time for black women to have a conversation. And once again, I'm a black man, so it's testosterone over here, right? It is XY chromosome over here. But I'll just put this out there for XX chromosome black women, right, to have a conversation about class and how the only unifying thing upper middle class and rich black women got for lower class women is black men ain't showing up, black men ain't ish, white men are better, non-black men are better, we should be leading, right? We don't need these men. Bring back we don't need these Negroes feminism. And I wonder if it's time for working class, lower middle class, poor black women to really see what upper middle class and rich black women really have done for them. Right? Because listening to Tanya, listening to Yanni, listening to Paris, listening to Mahogany Pink, listening to Alexis Exodus, listening to Chrissy, right? Listening to Kim Foster, whether they fall left or right politically, there is a very common narrative of we don't need these Negroes. And quite frankly, most black women actually do. Unfortunately for them, you can maybe talk that way. And maybe even the rest of the black women I'm speaking about talk that way. But in actuality, they actually do need black men. Yikes. Right? And by the way, the majority of the women I just described are right-leaning. As I said before, if y'all want me to critique Kim Foster every time she put out something retarded, or inaccurate, or she's nitpicking, like she tried to nitpick through Richard Reeves' book and pick out the parts that she want to talk about, then I'm asking the conservative brothers to maybe look at Chrissy, look at Yanni, look at Tanya, right? And these people are going to be like, well, I'm not liberal or conservative. Listen to the way they talk and you tell me. Right? These people have a very, I would argue, they are working class black women's class enemy. And so they'll keep you on the culture war stuff against black men, right? Black men ain't ish, black men ain't showing up for us like this, black men that, black men this, right? And they have a very neoliberal assessment of black men and masculinity. Right? You see, Trail, that's what I'm saying. And Trail says, man, I'm so glad my mom got married when she did. They've been together almost 30 years now. I couldn't imagine having to take care of her like he has. Um, man, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is Mr. Z's point. This is Mr. Z's point. Right? Y'all listening to these content creators, right? Y'all subscribe to them. They talking reckless. They keeping you single, or they keeping you not even weary of men, but spiteful of men, angry at men, suspicious of men. Right? This is where Selkis Ray come in. Right? They keeping y'all on that, and that sound nice, but do they even look happy? Do they sound happy? Do they even sound content? Right? They try to throw back in black men's faces and in men's faces in general. Y'all are gonna be the ones to die alone. Ha ha. We all die alone, but y'all don't be the ones that's miserable. And that now we all gonna be miserable. The difference is, and I said this before, no one wins the gender war between black men and black women. No one wins it. Go back to my Christmas video, right? No one wins the gender war between black men and black women. Black women just lose it harder. The math ain't mathing. The math is not mathing. You can't make it math. That's why you hear. I have to do a video about Yanni. These people are watching stuff now. Like when I end out the stream, I tell y'all go watch Black Manosphere content, go watch other non-Manosphere content. They're now opening up their repertoire and watching different things, and guess what? They still come into the same type of conclusions because that's you want that conclusion. And you're purposely going after certain information that brings that says that. Indigo Flow says Pyrrhic victory at best. It seems so. So unfortunately for these ladies, y'all continue to listen to Tanya TKO. Like I said, and there's nothing wrong with standing on what you say and what you believe, and standing 10 toes down and being forthright about that. Tanya TKO is not that. She's way more than that. She's way more than just confidence. Right? That's not just confidence. Right? With her snuffleupagus eyelashes. That's not just confidence. And I would argue Tanya TKO is your class enemy, ladies. She's telling you something that's just not, it's not feasible. Because you would have to figure out how to still incentivize working class men with them knowing that elite men have 100, 200 wives, 50 wives, 25, 30 wives. Meanwhile, this dude just got to get used to what? Playing with the salami? And he's still going to be a taxpayer? What? And he's going to be still doing his job? Maybe in the future. But in the foreseeable future, no. No. Right? For her to listen to Scott Galloway talk and then still pick out from it what she want, which is male leadership is BS. Why are they leading anyway? We need to be with the baller dudes anyway, or find a way to enjoy each other's company. Right? So this is not a thing. I'm sorry, y'all. They're like, shout out to Miss Tanya TKO, all the sass in the world. Like I said, this y'all haven't seen Insufferable yet, bro. I grew up with these women, and these women were my friends' moms and aunts. Their own kids don't want to be around them after a certain amount of time. Y'all think I'm joking? I was trying to be a little funny with the. I'm gonna say this a million times, so get ready. They keep talking and 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 talking, and they're never wrong. By the way, they're like never wrong. Like I said, they got a body on them. They're extra sassy. Men want to pipe just to feel like they conquered something. Then she got you on self delete watch because she just won't stop talking and thinking she right. Right? And it's not just a humble like nothing. And I'm not about telling women to be humble just to be humble. No, they're the Tanya TKOs of the world are like extremely arrogant. They'll be wrong as hell, loud and wrong, like a brother said in the comments, right? Loud and wrong, and stand on it. Right? They didn't misinterpret anything. They didn't. There's in the word sorry. Maybe they'll say it to a white man, but they ain't saying it to nobody else. Right? And Demetrius says Tanya doesn't have that much time left. That's why she's trolling like this, Mr. Z. Maybe. Maybe. Right? You feel me, Indigo? And Indigo Flow says that over exaggerated sincerity and pearl clutching thing Tanya does is nauseating. Man, you know. And to look, you know, the system helped to get women to where they are for the good and bad of it, right? Like I said, from policies, right? Government, corporate sector, wanted to see women in the workforce. They wanted to see women at a certain level. This is like I bring up Elizabeth Holmes all the time. This is how she was able to play that game, right? And play all them people, billionaires, by the way, right? And the Tanya TKOs of the world see that. They hear Scott Galloway speak, and what they purposely ignore from what he's saying is we need to have a way to use the system to do that for the boys and the men also, right? She purposely ignores that part, right? To the detriment of working class women. Tanya talking like baller dudes are going to what? First of all, you remember you're talking about mainly Western countries and mainly white people. Have what she's saying doesn't it literally? That's why I said in the title, the math don't math. What she's saying literally doesn't make sense. So let's go over this again before I close out. 56 million millionaires on planet Earth, right? Out of 8 billion people. 2,800, give or take, billionaires on planet Earth. So that's 2,800 and some odd billionaires on planet Earth out of 8 billion people. Let's say we double both of those numbers. So now we have 112 million millionaires on planet Earth, and let's say 6,000 billionaires on planet Earth. It really would be 5,600, but okay, 6,000 billionaires on planet Earth. That's not enough. Not to mention, remember, they're still mainly coming from Western countries. Translation, white countries. So where are all the uber rich white dudes with the black wives again? Where are all the uber rich baller white dudes with the black wives? Whoops. Right? You got what's his name, that the creator of Star Wars, and who else? It technically Arabs are considered white, so Janet Jackson's ex. Who else? The dude that was maybe gonna marry Mariah Carey. That didn't turn out well. The other one that was maybe gonna marry Rihanna. That didn't happen neither. The one that was with Naomi Campbell for a little bit. Yeah. Right. And I didn't even know that George Lucas' wife divorced him. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I know that. But De Niro's not a billionaire, so whoops. Right. So who? How many did I just list? Maybe 5 or 6. Eve's with a millionaire. He's not a billionaire. Okay, fine. Eve. Serena's with a millionaire. He's not a billionaire. Okay. What is Tanya TKO talking about? The math don't. Wait a minute. So you have young women complaining about a white guy that travels all around the country to all 50 states, and he dates pretty much nothing but white women. And then Tanya TKO is talking about black women in the with baller dudes who are mainly white in the Western world. Even if you throw in the Middle East on top of that, the Middle East is even more racist than the white Western racists, more anti-black than the white Western racists. So have fun with that. How does this math? Right? Oh, the CEO of Netflix. Yes, you're right. You're right. Right? It's just the math don't math. What is Harry a billionaire? I don't think Harry's a billionaire. I know his family's billions. So if y'all wanna be nice, y'all could throw Harry And Meghan Markle, old white passing ass, in there too. If you want to be nice and generous, the math don't math, Miss Tanya TKO. Millionaires or billionaires, it don't math. And y'all tell me when the last time y'all seen black women all happy to be with a 5'7" tall Chinese dude, because that's where the other rest of the money is. A 5'7" tall Chinese dude with a pot belly. The math don't math, Miss Tanya. It just doesn't. And black women listening to Tanya TKO, your class enemy, cool. Hey, it turned out how it turned out. So on that note, we'll end it out here. Um yeah, there's other stuff that I gotta listen to, and stuff that I'm already listening to, like this. Oh yeah, it's just foolishness. You feel me? Demetrius says they all supposed to get with rich dudes, all live in separate houses with furniture and in a decent neighborhood, and y'all all spend this his money. Don't make no sense, bro. I literally, that's the angle Tanya TKO was going at. I'm not making that up. Literally, that was the angle that she was coming from. Literally, this is a why I keep on stressing to y'all. These are adult women. These are adults, y'all, with this whimsical way of saying things. These are not little girls. Well, at least not physically, they're not little girls. Mentally, on the other hand, emotionally, these are adult women. They pay bills. They're taxpayers. I hope they, from what we know, they know how to wipe their own rear end, put gas in the car, pay their bills. These are adult women talking like this. That's what makes Kim so frightening. Tanya, Chrissy, Yanni, Paris, Lexus, Exodus, Mahal. These are adult women, sometimes professionals. You would think with all the technology we have, with supposed advancements in society, free and open society, we would be talking about something else, like colonizing the moon or Mars or something. One of the moons of Jupiter or something like that. And we still on this man woman beef and stuff, specifically and particularly in the black community. And these people are exploiting the loneliness of working class with black women, the sadness of working class black women, the feeling of desperation of working class black women, the feeling of precarity of working class black women. They're taking advantage of that. They're profiting off of it. They're profiting off of it. And all the answers are baller dude or nothing, white guy or nothing. Lead yourself. Be with yourself. Be happy with yourself. I grew up in the black community. I've been seeing black women do that my entire 36 years of life. They not happy. For you brothers that's older than me, haven't y'all been seeing the same thing? Those black women look happy. I've been seeing black women be single my entire life. Get a little boyfriend for a year or two. Get a little dude to come and knock the cobwebs out that's younger than them by 10, 15, 20 years. Tanya, they're already doing what you're talking about. Kim Foster, they're already doing what you're talking about. They're not happy. They're not even content. They're pretty damn miserable. So on that note, let me pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Yeah, I was frustrated. I was way more frustrated when I first heard it. I had to calm down, give it a couple hours. Plus I was at work, and then when I got off, I made this stream. But yeah, it's I really I I think that's what I have to. That's I'm gonna try to get Green Gorilla on for that conversation. Black women in class, and maybe we need to do, and maybe if I could curate a conversation between FD Signifier and Green Gorilla about black women in class, and how these elite black women, all they answers they got for black women is be comfortable being single and miserable if you can't be with the baller dude, or go eat some vagina and be in a same sex relationship. Okay, Detroit. And Detroit says I sent you an email. Okay, I'll check it out after the stream. I'll check out what you got, and maybe it's something I'm gonna do a video on. Right? And that's, like I said, these answers, I guess, if these are the answers that Kim from Fort Harriet, T- Tanya TKO, Chrissy, Paris Yanni, if this is the answer they got for y'all just remember them, right? I don't know. Y'all just remember them, and remember Mr. Z told y'all they're y'all class enemy, and the only thing y'all really got in common is that y'all are black women. That's it. That's it. And they've made serious profit off of selling you black men ain't ish. They not on your level. And Big Kev says, Tanya has blonde hair. What do you expect? Right? Spainman says they'll still go down blaming us. And I think that you know what? I'll make this my last comment because of what Spainman just said. Because I've said it before. I think this is what I should end out on. Like I said, these women are gonna walk y'all off the edge of the cliff. Ladies, listen here. Black woman social worker talking now. These women are going to walk you off the edge of the cliff. And right before you fall off the edge of the cliff, they're going to go pick your pocketbook or grab your wallet, take all the money out, and then watch you fall into antidepressant pills, watch you fall into depression without the antidepressant pills, watch you fall into incredible debt you can't dig yourself out of, watch you fall into loneliness, watch you fall into regret of not having children, regret of not having that great love of your life. They're going to watch you fall into all of that. Watch you fall into misery while keeping a smile on your face so that people outside don't know how miserable you are. Mr. Z know how miserable y'all are. Tanya know how miserable y'all are. She's fronting. Right? They think they're the ones who's not unhappy. They're the one. Stop, Tanya. If you're older than me, you know they're not. You know they're not happy. Unless the women believe the women when they put the fake smile on their face. But then y'all have all these homegirls and best friends that be calling y'all sad, crying. Oh, wait, Mr. Z was the only one around to hear that when he was a kid? I'm the only one that overhear these conversations? Not men telling me this, women telling me this. Women posting it online. Women recording those videos and then uploading them on the internet for the world to see, including black women. But Tanya telling y'all, no, that's just a men thing. All right. And we'll end with that. Yeah, exactly, Demetrius. As she falls, curse you, dusty niggas! Still blaming us. While Paris and Yanni and Kim, well, not so much Kim. On that one, not so much Kim. Kim is on something else. She's more on some lefty thing. But, you know, Yanni, Paris, all of them, Lexus Exodus, um, um, Tanya TKO, the rest of them, as you fall, as those women fall and say, you know, right, curse you, dusty niggas. Paris and them are going to be looking, and Tanya TKO going to be looking over the edge, holding the money in their hand that they just pickpocketed from all of these women. Chrissy also, definitely, especially. After I need to do a review, even though that video is maybe 2-3 months old now, I need to do a review on that video of Chrissy saying pretty much, you guys too, y'all are doing it for the money too. First of all, maybe some of us are. Secondly, you kind of expose yourself because you didn't say you're not doing it for the money. That's very telling. Right? Indigo. Indigo said on deathbed, these ninjas ain't gasp ish flatline. Really? And then y'all got me still talking. Trying to talk about, oh, these men are obsessed with us. We're black. We're obsessed with each other. That's what we're supposed to be. You're weird, lady. You're a grown ass lady. You sound weird. These men are obsessed with us. Lady, we're supposed to be. You're black women, right? Oh, I forgot you belong to the white man. But still, you're black women, right? I'm a black man. What, I'm supposed to be obsessed with white women? I'm not gay. What, am I supposed to be obsessed with other men? They're obsessed with us. Who else am I supposed to be obsessed with and obsessed about the outcomes of their lives? Black people in general. And because I'm a straight man, black women, black men as brotherhood, and black women because I'm a straight man. You're weird. Bro, I'm telling you, these people are weird. They're weird. Right? And better uses reminds me of a video I saw by Indy. What's that? Indy Moyon. Okay. Where there was a woman ran coffee shop that was charging a man tax to male patrons. Wow. They said they failed because of patriarchy. Y'all should see my face right now. I'm doing the what's the freestyle brother name that used to freestyle? Was it Conceited? Which one was Conceited? Was it the tall dark brother or the shorter brother? I can't remember. But I'm doing that face right now, like the kind of the duck face, right? So wait a minute. So you got the outcome you wanted and then blame the men for wait, so you tax men for being men and then they didn't want to be taxed for being men and then you blame the patriarchy for it? Huh? See what I'm saying, Indigo? No, wait, Z. Weren't they just a few months ago complaining how we weren't obsessed with them like we were in the 90s? I saw that video. I saw that video. Yeah, conceited battle rapper. Yeah, yeah. The meme that goes around online with him like poking his lips out like uh-oh, right? That was the face I just had right now, right? So, on that note, let me end out for real. Um, yeah. Sonya TKO, the math ain't mathin'. The math is just not mathin'. And on that note, love, peace, and chicken grease. I will pause right here. Um, for those of you that don't know, um, my video about cars got blocked because yes, I did copyright knowingly, so I can't even complain or be mad. You see, Mr. Z owning up to his foolishness. Because I shared links from like very big reputable like video like channels on YouTube, so they flag my ass. All right, and block the video. It's not even like usually what they'll do is like you can't make any money off of this video, or it's like it's not eligible for money or whatever. No, they complete because I wouldn't care, right? But they blocked it. They blocked it and said I'm uneligible. So I could still watch it though, but you guys can't. And like, there's no way for me to edit it because I needed to play it the way I played it. So yeah, it's gone. It's I would I can't figure out another way to post it. So it's just out of there. Right? It's just out of there. Um and on that note, we'll end right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Go check out other non-Manosphere content. And Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day.